Well, there's no doubt that the journalists still left inside here can't have ignored the incredibly fast-moving developments we've seen once again in terms of this story, and also the comings and goings. It was around 7 o'clock this evening that we saw Rupert Murdoch leave the building in a blacked-out vehicle. Shortly after that, James Murdoch also left. We had those strong words from Nick Clegg yesterday saying that the comments coming from across the channel from France were unacceptable. But I think today he seems to have cooled down a little, realising that actually this spat that's going on across the channel could well be playing into the hands of Eurosceptics. The violence went on well into the night, against the backdrop of some of London's biggest landmarks. And this morning, a huge clean-up operation is underway. It's hard to believe in lots of ways the amount of mess and damage that's been left behind by this group, who are obviously so intent on causing so much trouble. One that's sure to fill cinema seats is, of course, another Top Gun. He's not ruling out returning to the skies.
You know, the only way I'll do it is if we really crack the story and I get to fly in that. So
it's all about getting back in the plane then?
It's all about getting back in that airplane. Make no mistake about it.
If you think it's tough de-icing your car first thing in the morning, these guys are really facing a struggle. The areas where all the planes are parked, they all have to be de-iced. Any snow like this, which is coming down, that's going to have to be cleared later on. First tonight, he had offered no defence and the jury had no doubts. Serial killer Peter Tobin did murder the Essex teenager Dinah McNichol. We have spoken to the Council of Mosques in Luton this morning. They say that your comments show a complete lack of understanding. Have you actually spoken to women who wear the burqa?
Well, I think their comments reflect their complete lack of understanding.
Well, does this widen the allegations and the investigation then, Rhiannon?
Well, certainly it is interesting tonight. Obviously, in the past, any phone hacking allegations have been against the News of the World, those lists that Glenn Mulcair had in his notebooks. But this does appear to widen the issue out. The 100-metre men's final was the next most popular event, with 1.3 million ticket requests. So if you are after a seat at one of the big events, don't forget this time it will be first come, first served. You get the sense that they have become increasingly angry, increasingly frustrated. The Commissioner came out and spoke to us a little over an hour ago and said that full investigation will take place. He has condemned tonight the violence that we have seen on the streets of London.
You really must move away now!
It's no surprise the people of Hemel Hempstead will never forget this. It was the biggest explosion ever seen in peacetime Europe, described by one man as like the end of the world. But David Mitchell was much closer. His son's bedroom overlooks the depot.
You know, the ceilings are collapsed and, you know, bits of the roof are falling down.
The Prime Minister and Arnold Schwarzenegger have been firm friends for a while now, so it's only right that he gets a trip to David Cameron's new home, here to talk about the economy, Afghanistan, and probably not his film work. It seems the PM is a fan. We left the puns to him.
He's going to help me terminate the budget deficit.
Apparently, Keira Knightley is one of the best that he's taught. Clive Owen and Dame Judi Dench have also taken lessons, although they probably didn't make it look like such hard work. Oh, just hit the tree. How do you cope with that attention, and do you get to live like a normal 22-year-old at all? Do you get to go out and have fun?
I don't really, and if I do, I have to think of the consequences.
You're up here and you're seeing this and experiencing something that most people would never get to experience. I think it's worth beating my fear for.
Maybe I'd spoken too soon. Oh! Certainly the organisers I was speaking to earlier, with this 11-minute and 15-second display, the longest for a long time, they believe that they really are up there with the capital cities right around the world, and ultimately this is something to be really proud of.